Alex Ovechkin ranks among top 10 long-suffering sports legends without a title. Alex Ovechkin has played in 1,003 NHL games, entering Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final on Monday night. He and number 39 scored more than 600 career goals, been named to 11 All-Star teams and led the Washington Capitals to the playoffs in 10 of his 13 seasons. But, until now, he and number 39 never played for nor won a title. Ovechkin is the latest in a long list of megastars who, despite their prolific individual accomplishments, have never won a championship. The 32-year-old will try to take himself off that list in the next week or two with a series victory over the Las Vegas Golden Knights. In the meantime, here in number 39 a look at Ovechkin and 9 other stars across the sports world who always found a championship to be elusive. 19 seasons, 2,528 games, 0 playoff appearances. The man known as Mr. Cub is arguably the best player to ever suit up for one of the most iconic franchises in sports, and he never made it to the postseason. The 2-time MVP and 14-time All-Star came close in 1969. But the Chicago Cubs lost 17 of 25 down the stretch to finish just outside the playoffs, which at the time consisted of just 4 teams. 17 seasons, 242 games, 10 playoff appearances. Marino threw for more than 61,000 yards and 420 touchdowns, and he guided the Miami Dolphins to Super Bowl 19 in 1985. But the Dolphins suffered a lopsided loss to the San Francisco 49ers, and Marino never got another shot in the title game. If there is anyone that ever deserved a Super Bowl ring, John Elway said, it was him. 11 seasons, 160 games, 8 playoff appearances. Perhaps nobody on this list got as close to winning a championship as often as Kelly. 4 years in a row, he led the Buffalo Bills to the Super Bowl. And 4 years in a row, they left empty-handed, including a 2019 heartbreaker against the New York Giants in 1991. Barry Bonds 22 seasons, 2,986 games, 7 playoff appearances. Bonds is most often remembered as a central figure in the steroid era, the controversial home run king. But a 4-1 loss to the Anaheim Angels in Game 7 of the 2002 World Series kept him without a ring, and he only made one other playoff appearance thereafter. 24 seasons, 3,034 games, 3 playoff appearances. It and number 39 a bit deceptive to say that Cobb only reached the postseason 3 times because, in the early 1900s, the postseason consisted only of the World Series. Cobb and the Detroit Tigers made it there in 1907, 1908 and 1909 but lost all 3 and, perhaps most noticeably, were shut out in the final game of each series. Karl Malone, John Stockton 18 seasons together, 1,422 games together, 18 playoff appearances. It is impossible to talk about one without the other. Stockton and Malone made the playoffs in each of their 18 seasons together, including 3 trips to the conference finals and 2 finals appearances. But they were never able to get past Michael Jordan and those iconic Chicago Bulls teams of the late 1990s. 13 seasons, 1,003 games, 10 playoff appearances. It and number 39 remarkable, really, that Ovechkin had never even reached the Eastern Conference Final prior to this season, given Washington and number 39's track record of success. Only 4 players in NHL history have scored more career goals than Ovechkin and number 39 607 and never won the Stanley Cup. More, Capitals and Golden Knights are unlikely Stanley Cup rivals with unique connections. More, Stanley Cup 2018, Marc-Andre Fleury, Alex Ovechkin among 5 Connecticut Smythe favorites. 20 seasons, 2,440 games, 3 playoff appearances. Though Gwynn only made 3 postseason appearances in a career that spanned 2 decades, 2 of them featured trips to the World Series. Unfortunately for Gwynn, however, both resulted in blowout losses for his San Diego Padres, despite his .371 batting average in the Fall Classic. 17 seasons, 1,183 games, 13 playoff appearances. Ewing led Georgetown to a 1984 championship, was selected number 1 overall in the 1985 draft and made 11 All-Star appearances in his NBA career. But his 2 trips to the NBA Finals were thwarted by the likes of Hakeem Olajuwon and David Robinson. He didn't in number 39 to win a championship, former New York Knicks coach Jeff Van Gundy told ESPN in 2002. But he conducted himself like a champion and put more into trying to win a championship than anyone. And number 39 and number 39, Randy Moss. 15 seasons, 218 games, 7 playoff appearances. Moss made 5 Pro Bowls and 7 seasons with the Minnesota Vikings but never reached a Super Bowl. Then, when he got there with the New England Patriots in 2007 and San Francisco 49ers in 2012, he fell just short. Both games were decided by a mere 3 points. Others receiving votes. Contact Tom Shad at cad@usatoday.com or on Twitter at Tom_Shad.